Quantum moments show up in different ways for virtually everyone. But what they usually signify, especially what I just described, that very vivid, surprising, kindly, benevolent, long-lasting kind of thing that takes place, is where a person is getting themselves, in the Tao they would call it, returning back to the Tao, returning to the place from which you came while you're here, living heaven on earth within yourself. In fact, Leo Tolstoy wrote a book called "The Kingdom of Heaven is Within," about that, just that concept, about having it within you. And I don't know if it's so much a letting go as it is a reconnection to what I call the field of intention, or the power of intention. I mean, intention, the book, The Power of Intention, is really not about the ego saying, I intend to make something happen, and that's therefore I'm going to do it. It has nothing to do with that. It's the opposite of that. The field of intention is really a field from which all things are intended. And all you have to do is reconnect yourself to that field, that creative field that intends everything into the world of the 10,000 things, into the world of the material world, and get yourself in harmony with that. And that's what I think happens in the meaning phase of our life, is that we reconnect to our source of being. Castaneda spoke about that there's a link between you and this field of intention, but for almost everybody it's a rusty link. It's just it's not clean. It's just every once in a while we realize, oh my God, there is something bigger, there is something happening here. Oh wow, look at that. Oh, I met that person, and that, and the right thing showed up, and I have a synchronistic, Carl Jung invented that term, synchronicity. I have like a collaboration with fate, it feels like, as if just everything just is working right and the right people are showing up and all of that. That stuff begins to really foment in your life, and you begin to see it taking place all over when you let go of the ego. Because the ego, according to most of the spiritual teachers, including Patanjali, is just called, it's the false self. This idea that you are what you have and what you do and what other people think of you, and that you're separate from everybody else and separate from God, that's just false. It's like, so you're living under, and that's why the Jung quote where he says that what was true in the morning will have at evening have become a lie, and you're literally living a lie, trying to fulfill a destiny that has been imposed upon you by all of these, by society and by the right people and so on. But in here, there's music that you came here to play, and you came here to play that music. Intention, the field of intention, is asking you to play that music and to take the risks and to do whatever it is that is required of you. And I'll be there to guide you and make it easy for you. It's not going to be a struggle. It's not going to be that difficult. You've just convinced yourself that this is that's what my next book is about looking at the thought systems that we have that keep us from changing long habituated thinking patterns. Why is a person overweight almost all of their life? It isn't because they were destined to be fat. They're thinking, in a different way. And the same with addictions. Or why do you keep attracting the same kind of people into your life? The wrong people for you, or whatever it might be. This is just all long habituated thought systems that if we challenge them and begin to see that they're not even true. They're all lies. So it's like we live in a world in which all things are possible, in which there's no accidents, there can be no accidents, there's an organizing intelligence that supports everything in this universe, and we live as if who we are is this little microscopic separate thing who's always got to do things a certain way and fit in a certain way, and none of that is true.